the reason I wanted to say that, read that, was because we think we're all that in a sack of crackers because we do a fish fry and we do a pancake day and we put flags out, it's great for the community and financially it helps a lot of people. But the originators of the Kiwanis Club built a hospital.
All right, welcome to this episode of Chief, Cap, and Chap. I'm Jason, chaplain with Sykes and DPS, here with John Broom, Captain John Broom. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well. The summer heat is ramped up a little bit, but
It is upon us.
it is here and here to stay probably, so that's okay. We'll have a few months of summer, and then we'll be complaining about the cold. So
Yeah, it may cool off, about October?
yeah, probably just after rodeo.
And that's probably when we'll get our next rain, too. So
Yeah,
it's-
that's true.
Today's June 23rd, so usually July is pretty dry. And
Well, we'll see.
yeah,
We're no weathermen. So want to say thank you to all of those listening, to Chief Cap and Chap and watching, and those that have subscribed. We're very thankful for you. You can send us an email at chief.cap.chap@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear from you, hear your questions. We're excited today to have someone with us as a guest, as Chief has stepped out and has some things to take care of, but Jimmy Davis is here from the Kiwanis Club. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing today?
Doing okay. You know this guy?
I met a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, I know him pretty well too.
I got to stop you real quick, though. I thought when you were talking about being excited, you were excited the Chief wasn't here.
No. You trying to get me in trouble?
Well, I was just...
John Broom.
I thought that's where you're going.
No, that is not where I'm going. I'm excited to have my dad here, president of the Kiwanis Club, and thank you so much for taking out some time today to share with us what's going on.
Yeah, and we have met
Yeah, once or twice.
once or twice.
And so, as we talk about this podcast, one of the things that we've said from the beginning that we want this podcast to be about the community, things that are happening in our area, the way people are serving in our community. And we've had people on that have talked about great service things that they're doing. When you look around our community, there are these civic organizations that, they go all out of their way serving this community. It's really cool to watch the civic organizations work. Kiwanis Club is one of those. Tell us what the Kiwanis Club does in general.
Well, the Kiwanis Club is a civic organization here in Sykes, which is one of several that serve the community. Our main goal, our motto is kids need Kiwanis. And so what we do is, everything we do is based on the children of this community, the kids of this community, and the community itself. And so we have different projects that we do in the course of a year. We'll do a pancake day in March. We'll do a fish fry in October. We have a continuous project called our Flag Project, which has become a really strong project for us in the city. And so we take those funds and we turn right around, and everything above the cost of doing business goes right back into the community to support kids and the community.
So I want to talk about specifically the flag program right now, because I don't know if you notice when you drive around town, certain times of the year, there's a large number of people in our community that have flags in their yard during different times of the year. So tell us a little bit about that flag program. What does that flag program do? How do you get involved? What dates are the flags put out? Those types of things.
Well, the flag program was started back quite a few years ago, and it was started because a lot of our members are veterans, and certain holidays would roll around, and they would man, we need to be patriotic here, and so they come out with a flag program, and for $50 a year, a one-time fee, you'll get a flag on Memorial Day, Flag Day, July the 4th, September through Labor Day. Once they go out in September for Labor Day, they go through 9/11. So they're out for that entire time. And then we do November Veterans Day. So you get 5 days for $50. We partner with the Anchor Academy in Van Duzer. They are the trucks that you see driving around town with all the flags in them. And those boys they're something else. They are true workers, and they do things that we could not do without them. They put the flags out a couple days before the holidays, and you'll notice that the day or two after the holiday, the flag has been picked up. And that $50 a year includes all the maintenance. You don't have to do anything. If something happens to your flag, there's a phone number on that pole. You call, and we come and fix it.
Yeah, so I know you remember, John, last year on Memorial Day or the day before Memorial Day, actually, there was a little tornado that came through Sikeston. It's been kind of the talk of Sikeston for the last year. And I have one of those flags in my yard, and when I walked outside after the tornado, the flagpole was like at a right angle. And what's really cool about that program is if you sign up for that program, they take care of the flags. And so they replaced my flag. I have a brand new flag this year.
Right. And not only that, but, and of course, as the cost of doing business, that incident that you're talking about, and we've had a few other times where we've had lost some flags, but we had over 100 flags damaged, really beyond use with that incident. We had 6 or 8, I think, that we never did find the flag or the pole. We never found anything. So we absorbed that cost to replace all of those. Nobody had to pay more this year to get flags. It's all part of the cost of doing business. And so that is just when they're out, they're out. But we want people to understand, if there is a problem with that flag, there's a sticker on that pole with a phone number, and they can call that sticker and call that number, and we will be there to fix it.
One of the things I think about when I see you guys putting those flags out, or, if they've been out for a few days, it just kind of really helps you kind of stop and pause and just kind of take a little bit of thought about the significance of that day and the reason why you put those flags out. And, I think without those, maybe I wouldn't really stop and appreciate Memorial Day or 4th of July or Veterans Day.
Well, and we have members also that are veterans, and so on these holidays where they have events at the Memorial Park, those flags that you see in the front, we also put those out, and then we also sponsor 3 or 4 of the big flags that sit back there by the American flag. We also sponsor that, so we're very veteran oriented.
Yeah, a lot of work goes into that program. I mean, I know just from conversations that you have, there's phone calls and trying to get people the flag that they purchased, and so I'm sure it's not as easy as it appears to be to have a flag program. And I just think it's a really cool program, and I want to say thanks to the Kiwanis for that. How many members are there in the Kiwanis Club, by the way?
We have about 28 active members right now. We're like most civic organizations in town. We're struggling for members, and like I said, we partner with these groups that help us do. Back to the flag program for a second. We have 578 customers right now, and we put out over 700 flags. You take a 90-degree, 95 a day like today, and you're putting out that kind of flags. I'm one of the young pups in our club, and so we can't do that. And so, partnering with these, but so we are attempting to get young people, and I don't mean young people. I mean middle-aged but we find out that in the city of Sikeston, the age group that you need the workers, that we are in competition with the JCs, which is an awesome program. They do so much for the community, but and if you have guys that are members of that, that's just all their extra time.
Yeah.
And so, and they do so much. And we partner with the JCs ourselves in certain projects. But that's our right now. We have about 28 active members.
So how if somebody wanted to volunteer to be a part of the Kiwanis Club, to join or whatever, what does that process look like?
They can contact us. They come to a meeting. They get sponsored by a current. Like if you wanted to be a member, you would call me and, hey, I'd really like to be a Kiwanis. I'd say, we have a meeting on the second and fourth Monday every month at the Mongolian Grill at 6 o'clock, and I would say, I'm going to take you and sponsor you, and I would introduce you and to the group, and then they would vote you in.
Gotcha. Is there a yearly fee to be a member?
There's a quarterly fee that you pay. I think it's $48 a quarter or something like that. But it's not much. But it kind of gets our budget off and running.
Yeah. Okay. And so then once you become a member of the Kiwanis Club, do you start volunteering with different events right away? Is there a type of like volunteer training that takes place? What does that process look like?
No. When I joined, most of the people that were there knew me already. And so by the second meeting, I was part of the fish fry committee, the pancake committee, the flag committee. You get put on those groups, and each one of those committees has a chair. And so that person runs that committee. And, there's no, you need to be willing to work. That's your only qualifications and we will show you what needs to be done and get it done.
Gotcha.
Some folks may ask themselves, well, what is it other than, helping my community, which is, really important, but what would be in joining a club like that for them? What opportunities would that provide for them?
Well, I will tell you this, what I found out about the Kiwanis Club, and I know the civic organizations, everyone in town, have their niche and they're great at what they do. But what I like about the Kiwanis Club, number one, we're a faith-based club. And in the short period, I've been a member of the Kiwanis Club for 4 years, and I'm living proof what happens when you miss a meeting when they're nominating officers.
So you hold several responsibilities.
So I zipped right up to vice president and then to president. But
yeah, we'll give that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Applause.
But one thing I can say is this is a I should have waited till that was done. Huh? Even though the club is full of older people, they are hard workers. And I watch them, and they're an inspiration to. You don't have to. They're not going to let you sit back and do nothing. They're going to set an example, and then you're going to follow that, and you're going to go out there and get the work done. And they've all got a great heart. And I will say that, like I said, I've been a member for 4 years, and some of the best friends I have now that I hunt and fish with and stuff are Kiwanis members that I have met in the last 4 years.
Yeah. I think it's really cool too. One of the things when you go to the different events that the Kiwanis Club does, what I've noticed is, as is the case in our community, which I love about our community, the school system is involved in the Kiwanis Club a little bit with, I believe it's the Key Club.
The Key Club.
So how did they get involved? What do they participate in as students?
Well, the Key Club is a part of a club in the school where there's a group of kids, and like they run concession stands out at the park for soccer games and stuff like that. There are just certain things they do. And we had one of our members who was in charge of the Key Club and was a teacher. And so he brought the Key Club, and the Key Club partners with the Kiwanis Club, just like the Anchor kids do. And we financially support them. And so like at the Pancake Day, when you see all the high school kids out there serving the syrup and all of that, that's the Key Club. And so the fish fry, when they're the to-go orders and things like that they're running 100 miles an hour, that is the Key Club. And once again, we are not successful without them.
Yeah.
And we tell them that. And of course, we gave out $25,000 worth of scholarships to the high school seniors this year, and a lot of them are the Key Club members, and that gets them, we know them. We know their character. We know their possibility for success to move on.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that aspect a little bit because you've mentioned a couple of events or a couple of things that the Kiwanis Club does. You have the flag program. Is it a fundraiser? Is the flag program a fundraiser or just here's a thing for the community?
It's absolutely our largest fundraiser right now.
Okay.
Yes, it is our largest.
And then you have the pancake breakfast or pancake day.
Right.
You been to the pancake day?
Man, I love pancakes.
You been to the pancake day?
Well, yeah.
John Broom, you got to be there. The bacon.
It's all you can eat.
The bacon is delicious.
Is that a cop joke?
No comment. Actually,
I'm glad I didn't say
the
that.
bacon isn't a cop joke. The bacon actually is dangerous for me now that I've had my gallbladder removed.
Well, you know they call it meat candy.
meat candy. I can understand that.
Our bacon is meat candy.
It's delicious.
It is.
So also not good for high blood pressure. So we have the pancake thing. You mentioned the fish fry that takes place. So the pancake thing is in the March, and the fish fry is in the
October.
Fall. Yeah. Okay. I thought I had my dates right, but I was trying to. What other fundraisers do you do? Flag program, pancakes, fish fry.
That's really about it as far as our primary fund. I mean, like we have cooked fish for the JCs on the rodeo. Like if you've been out there during rodeo week and you've gone in and you've been there to eat when they're having fish, that's us. We have partnered with them to cook that before with them, and they pay us to do that. But those three items right there fund our budget.
Okay, and I want people to hear this because I think it's very important because some people will say, "Well, I come for the pancakes, but I realize it's a fundraiser." I wonder where the money goes, right? I mean, as a director of a nonprofit, that's a question we get a lot. Is like, where does the money go? So for the Kiwanis Club, you mentioned a little bit, but dig it a little deeper into where the money goes.
Well, I get asked that question a lot. And I tell people, go to Sykes and Kiwanis Facebook page. We take pictures when we give out money to organizations, Shop with a Cop, whatever we happen to do, we'll take a picture, and it's on there. Now, not all of them, but a lot of them. But that is the best way to track where that money goes. But
I mean, you got like scholarships,
right?
So what are those scholarships like? Is it like a $5,000 scholarship, a $2,000 scholarship? What?
We give out $1,000 scholarship, and we gave it out. Actually, this year we had 28 applicants that qualified for a scholarship, and so we split up $25,000 to 28 applicants.
Gotcha.
And of course, we took a picture of that, and that's on our Facebook page.
Great. And then you have things like Shop with a Hero, and so you donate to that. What other types of outreach programs like that do you guys give to?
Well, I counted it up before I came. Besides the $25,000 that we give to scholarships, we give to approximately 70 different entities.
Wow.
In the community. Grace Community, I know you had a podcast with them here recently. We partner some with, it's just about the Shop with a Cop, the Morehouse Christmas, anything that's all the Christmas, where they give out the Christmas candy over there. We do Boy Scouts, we do Girl Scouts, we do, if it's kids in this town, we give some money. Kenny Rogers. Yeah. I could go down the list. I mean, there's 70. I could spend most of our podcast just going down the list of the Wesley Memorial Shoe and Sock giveaway for the kids. That's one of our big things. Which I tell you how that, just to give you an idea, I got invited to go help do that. And one of the people leading that said, I'd like to come and speak to the Kiwanis about donating to us. And that's what if you want us to help you, you call and say, I'd like to come and speak to your club and come and give us, what you need. And we will then see what we can do to help you. So she invited me to come and do that. And I'm telling you, it was heart-wrenching to go to see those kids come in there and their eyes light up and get a new pair of shoes and a pair of socks, and to see what was coming off their feet. Mm-hmm. And so when she came in to speak to the Kiwanis Club, I'm like, man, this is one we want to play hard with. And so, but that's how you do it. I mean, you come and speak to us and give us your what your idea is, and we see if we can help.
Well, I could comment really quick on the Shop with the Hero program. My first experience of dealing with that, I had a little girl. I would guess she's probably 7, 8 years old, and of course, I think they get around $200 or so,
something like that.
But
yeah.
basically, they can buy whatever Christmas gifts that they want for themselves. And do you know that the girl, the only thing that she wanted, take her back to the toy aisle, and the only thing that she wanted was food.
Yeah.
And I think just there's such a need in this community for so many things, and Kiwanis provides that. And of course, I told that little girl, I was like, listen, we're going to get you some toys, but we're going to get you some food too. So the need in this community is huge, and I appreciate what you guys do, and as well as so many of these other organizations in our community.
Well, and I would like to give a shout out too, if I don't know, maybe you were going to ask this, but Kiwanis can't do what we do without partner. I mean, all the businesses in town that, like when we're getting ready to do a fish fry, or we're getting ready to do a pancake day, and we're out selling ads and selling tables, and especially over the last few years when the economy has not been just so robust, people have been kind of, and you walk in the door again, and these businesses in town, they just get hounded, with all these, everybody wanting to do something, and you see them kind of, when you walk in the door, you just see them kind of do that, and then as they do that, they still write that check, and they still take them tickets, and they still thank you, and they come in, and so without them, we don't get anything done. So I want to give a kudos to all the businesses in this town. And, when we have one of those events, that ad comes out in the newspaper that shows every one of those that spent that money to buy a group of tickets. And so I've heard them say before, well, we really don't get anything from the ad. Well, I hope maybe they'll get something from this podcast. Maybe,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's incredible when you look at the advertisement for these events and see all of the businesses in town that have given, that have donated to do that. And I mean, I don't care what anybody says. This community supports itself. They encourage one another. I think that's why it's so important personally that we support small business and shop local and those types of things, because we do have an economy here that not only loves to do business locally, but they really do care for their community. And I'm sure you see that out when you're patrolling and having community events and stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I could just sit here and think of, probably 10, 15, 20 businesses that are just constantly present, whether it's, providing things, setting up, booths, or, just at the event itself, or, donating financially.
Yeah. We're coming on the heels of the Hot Air Balloon Festival, and I mean, I think that was a great display of some of that, what you're talking about with those businesses, just being out there and supporting that organization as well. So we have fundraisers, you have membership with the Kiwanis Club. How long have you been president?
I have been president a little over a year.
How long does that go?
Just about to get elected for year number 2. It's October to October.
For 2 years?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's a 1-year term, but I'm fixing to hit my second one.
Okay. Who are the other officers of the organization?
We have, we're getting ready to, we've had a little shuffle in we had a person had to leave, and so right now the vice president slot is open. It will be filled in October.
John Broom.
John Broom. Hey, listen, we're wide open. Come and join us.
Hey, Chief left.
Well, can I nominate
there you
James
go.
McMillan?
Hey, I've got some.
Anyone opposed?
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Yeah, baby.
That's how it works. I'm telling you. But we have Rhonda Bonds is going to be our secretary, and then Linda Myers is our treasurer, and then we have a board of directors.
Okay.
We have a group that's on a 1-year term and a group that's on a 2-year term, and on all these money issues, once people come in and we make okay, we want to give them X amount of dollars, then we adjourn. The board gets together and we say we have discussion to whether that's suitable, or we vote that in, we vote that out, or so it's a process.
Yeah. Well, so what I want to talk about now is the club this is a big year for the club.
It
right?
absolutely is.
So tell us why this year is a big year.
This year is we are putting together our 90th anniversary celebration. It's going to be July the 19th, and it's going to be at the First Methodist Church. And it is going to be a big deal. We have a speaker coming in. His name's Steve Siemens. I've read his bio, and he is a world-renowned speaker. He's got 3 books out. He's a motivational kind of guy. He's an ex-Kiwanian governor. And yeah, it's going to be a big deal.
So tell us about that. Tell us about that event.
Okay. We are going to have at least 3 ex-governors will be there. It's also our regional or a district governor's visit. It's kind of 2 events in one. And so we have, and I want to read something. I don't know if it's appropriate time, but I want to read something before we get off of this. And so we are selling tickets for a maximum of 300 people is what we concede. It's going to be a catered meal, a buffet-style meal, and then Steve will speak. And we're also honoring 4 of our members who have been members in excess of 50 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's going to be, and then there's going to be 50-50 drawings. There's going to be giveaways, just like everything, anything sitting on the table, there's going to be drawings, and it's just going to be, and it's that part of the event will start at 6 o'clock for the public. Now, the Kiwanis part of it will start earlier in the day, about 1 o'clock, where we got like the Charleston Kiwanis group, and we've got a group from Poplar Bluff coming in our district comes, and then we have breakout sessions where we talk about membership and we talk about, hey, we've got some of those groups that want to talk to us. We want to start a flag program. How do we do that? So that's going to be breakout sessions. So that will be early afternoon, and then that will lead into, lead into a break, and then the public, all that will start at 6 o'clock. The actual, and we're going to have honor guards. The police department's going to bring the flags in. It's going to be a big deal. It really is.
So this is open to the public starting at 6 o'clock. Right.
You have to purchase a ticket.
But you
in
have to
advance.
purchase tickets. So how do they purchase tickets to this event?
They can call a phone number. They can. We actually have they can go to. Let me read this to you. They can call the phone number, but here's the way we set it up. First State Community Bank at 201 North Main Street in Sykeston, and Southern Bank at 1205 South Main Street in Sykeston. Both of those places have tickets. And so you can go to those places and purchase your tickets. And we're not giving, you have to pay for them when you pick them up.
Right.
Because we have to have an exact count.
So First State Community Bank
First State Community Bank
and Southern Bank
and Southern Bank
are the two places that have tickets. Okay. And how much are the tickets?
$20 a piece, and that includes the catered meal, which, if you're going to go out on a Friday night or you're going to go eat anywhere, you're going to pay, and it's 2 meats, 2 vegetables, a dessert, and a drink. Not a bad gig.
So the 90 years for the Sykeston Kiwanis Club.
Right.
Any idea how it got started?
Can I read you something?
Yep.
This is a...
You can do whatever you want. It's a podcast, and it's our podcast.
Well, and so in our research, we came across this article in the Standard Democrat where they wrote up for our 70 year.
Okay, so 20 years ago.
20 years ago, 2005. And so I want to read something. The way it starts out is the Kiwanis Club is a belief in the community started the Kiwanis Club of Sykeston 70 years ago And members say it's that same belief that keeps the civic organizations operating all these years. We were chartered on November the 21st of 1935 with 28 members, which is odd because that's exactly how many we have
Probably
now.
there.
Is it the same ones?
It actually almost is. That's the first real funny thing I think I've heard him say.
Well, we need to hang
Well,
out
I need to
more.
watch. I need to watch more.
We need to hang out
podcasts.
more.
No, I'm just kidding. That was good. That was good. I actually could be considered one of those. But so Roger Sherman, who is one of them that we will be honoring for his 50 years plus service, he was part of this interview, and this was a part of what he stated here. In 1938, a plan was adopted by the organization's Public and Business Affairs Committee to bring a hospital to the community. An investigation by the Kiwanis revealed a charitable foundation, Commonwealth Foundation, donated large sums of money for construction of hospitals in large areas where services were needed. After several years of joint effort, the combined committee obtained a large contribution from the Commonwealth Foundation, and construction of the local hospital began in 1946. The Kiwanis were instrumental in the drive for Sikeston's original city zoning ordinance and planning and zoning commission. The Civic Club promoted the idea of a public park board, which was later adopted by Sikeston voters. The club also developed the idea of a small lake at the sports complex.
Did you know that?
I did not.
Kiwanis Club. So the reason I wanted to say that, read that, was because we think we're all that in a sack of crackers because we do a fish fry and we do a pancake day and we put flags out, which is it's great for the community and financially it helps a lot of people. But the originators of the Kiwanis Club built a hospital, played a huge part in building a hospital. They played a huge part in that sports complex out there. And if you notice, if you've ever been around the where the tennis courts and the pickleball courts are, that first set of pavilions right there, there's 3 pavilions with a restroom, and that's ours. That 3 pavilions, that big restroom, and then that play area right there.
Was all sponsored by the Kiwanis
was
Club.
all sponsored by the Kiwanis Club.
So that's interesting because I wasn't aware. I have a little idea about Sikeston history, and that's the first time that I've ever heard that the Kiwanis Club played that big a role in those types of things. Have you've not heard that either?
No, and I've always kind of prided myself, especially on local history.
Right.
Yeah. Is the Kiwanis Club? Again, I'm asking because I don't know. Is it one of the oldest civic organizations in our community?
I really couldn't tell you that.
90 years. I can't imagine. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but that's a long time to be around and be in existence. And what an impact! Wow, what an impact and legacy that club's leaving. What are some of the? This just kind of sparked that next question. Then, what are some of the things that you guys as a club see in the future as plans that could potentially impact the community like that?
Man, I'll tell you. What we have to do is like what all the other civic organizations do. After we get through with this particular event, which is taking up all of our time right now, we have got to go on membership drives. We have got to get some people, more members, and we've got to get some younger people and some fresh ideas. When they came up with these ideas, these guys were young.
Yeah.
And they didn't have social media to keep them busy. They didn't have all these things, and they were very smart. They were community minded. Now, when Kiwanis was first created, when these guys first chartered it, it was kind of more of a community thing. Then it developed into it's a kid thing, right? But it's also it's a kid thing that also combines with community. Just like we donate money to Stars and Stripes over at Bloomfield. We donate for the wreaths, for the graves. I mean, it's not just kids. It is community. But we always put thought to when somebody asks us to help them do something, how does that benefit the kids and how does it benefit the community? And so, man, I was blown away when I read that because, like I said, I thought we were just knocking the ball out of the park, and then I see what some of the originators of this club did, I'm like, man, we got to set our goals a little higher.
Yeah.
Talking about new memberships and new members kind of reminded me of having Taylor Deere on here last week with the chamber, and she talked about
Exactly.
Leadership Sykeston and some of the relationships and networking opportunities.
Yeah, man, that's a great
that
idea.
that came out of that. So, of course, a lot of people, of course, the big benefit is helping the community, but some folks may say, hey, what is joining the Kiwanis Club in it? What's in it for me? And that would be the opportunity to network with people within the community. And if you're starting your own business or you have a business and you've developed these relationships with other members in the community, it's going to help your business, and that's really what's going to help you. So I would encourage some of our younger business folks or folks that have went on and got their college educations and come back to Sykeston and start their professional career. Hey, look at the Kiwanis Club or the Rotary Club or Lions Club and those things, and get involved in those.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing that you brought that up. We have talked about that multiple times, and when I was listening to the podcast with Taylor and she brought that up, I'm thinking, man, we have got, we kind of put everything on the back burner for this event. Has really been dominating our time and money and everything right now. But we have talked about that multiple times, getting these groups out of the school. And of course, also that Key Club, that is high school kids that they get involved with us. And we hope that comes a day down the road in their life when they say, Kiwanis was a good place. We had a good time there, and we were benefited the community, and I want to go back and be a bigger part of that. So
Yeah, I can see that being the opportunity to kind of develop potential members and then encourage them in the future when they come back, because a lot of people do. I mean, if you look at the makeup of our community, of our city specifically, there's kind of I call it the Sykestonian move, where they graduate high school, they can't wait to get out of town, they get out of town, and then when they're out of town, they realize that town ain't that bad. You know what I mean? And they can't wait to get back. They come back. They find a spouse. They get married. They start a family. They become business leaders in our community. And the next thing you know, they're leaders in our community. And I think for clubs like the Kiwanis Club, that's a great opportunity, investing in students with the idea of, man, that gives them a road or a path back to service when they come back.
yeah.
So.
And we hope that that's the case. We haven't. Well, I will say this. We've been the Key Club of all things. They're celebrating their 100th year of existence this year. The Key Club is. So it's been around a very long time. We haven't partnered with them for 100 years, of course, but so hopefully the ones and Key Club has been a strong. They're down a little bit this year, but I think they had 87 or 88 members last year. I mean, they were strong, and and they helped us tremendously. So hopefully that they can look at that and use that in the future.
So there's hopefully people watching this or listening to this as well. So just for their benefit, let's walk through a couple again. Ways that they can get in contact if they would like to be a member of the Kiwanis Club. What is that phone number?
Well, let me give you, I have written down here the ways that you can contact us. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook. That's at Sykeston Kiwanis. And you can, of course, we are also on the Chamber website because we are a member of the Chamber of Commerce. But the phone number for Kiwanis is 573-258-2347. And if you don't answer, just leave a message, and I am the one that answers that phone. So if you leave a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We have an email address at SykestonKiwanisClub@gmail.com. And mailing address is Sykeston Kiwanis Club at Post Office Box 234, Sykeston, Missouri 63801.
And that's for them to become a member, and then those are also the ways to contact that, or going to the two banks for tickets for the 90th anniversary celebration coming up. What was the date of that again?
July the 19th, and going to the banks is the primary. If you call that phone number, we're going to send you to the banks.
Okay, gotcha.
That's going to be the primary way to buy tickets. And so, yes, July the 19th, the meal will start at 6 o'clock. Again, it's at the First United Methodist Church of Sikeston. And the keynote speaker, once again, is Steve Siemens, and the title of his speech will be The Importance of Servant Leadership.
Okay, great. And then the flag program, which is a big program, as we've already talked about, calling that number is the best way for that.
Yes, calling that number, and then you will get a sheet of paper like that will have your name, address, and your phone number on it, and somebody will you give $50, and somebody will come and start putting a flag in your yard.
That sounds good. Anything else from you today?
Can you buy tickets at the door at the?
No.
Okay.
And the reason that, John, is because we have week 300. That's it. And so
Okay.
hopefully we're going to have that ticket number topped out. Oh, by the way, July the 4th is the deadline for purchasing tickets because our caterer has to have that lead time to prepare. So July the 4th is the last date for purchasing tickets.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks so much for being here. I'm glad that you were able to take out some time this afternoon to share about the club, and looking forward to how the club grows and continues to move forward and doing great things for our community. Thank you so much for tuning in to Chief, Cap, and Chap. We always appreciate you listeners and watchers who hang out with us. Thanks to Josh for the editing that he is going to do on this podcast. We're pretty sure he's doing a great job. Thanks to my buddy John. Always a fun time with you, buddy. And
Thank you, John.
we miss you, Jim. But we'll see you.
No.
We'll see you next week. And don't forget, as Tigger always says, always take the high road.